All right, cut on the mic. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 1440 show. I'm your host, Blank. We have something that I want to talk about, something that is pretty interesting to me. So, I've known for a long time that marketing and networking were going to be keys in the success of any business that I decided I wanted to build, and specifically was going to be a key in the success of 1440, right? And I think everybody understands this. Everybody knows this. No one goes into building a business thinking that, you know what, if I sit on my butt all day long, every day for the rest of my life, that this business is just going to build itself and I'm not going to have to work a day in my life. Like, no one goes into building a business thinking that that's going to be the case. You know what I mean? And so there are, a number of people that I pay attention to, a number of people that I watch on social media and on YouTube, and a number of people that I've read about that have a very, very, very deep understanding of how to market and how to network. You know what I mean? And so before we get into some of the online marketing and network techniques that I'm using, let's talk a little bit about Dale Carnegie. Okay, now Dale Carnegie is a guy that had a focus, his career was focused on the developing of human interaction skills, your ability to talk to other humans and talk to a number of humans, right? This meant maybe you were giving a speech on a stage or just flat out standing in front of, somebody, person to person, talking to them. And throughout his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he talks about how, not Rockefeller, but Andrew Carnegie, which, by the way, they're not related, okay? Andrew Carnegie, who I believed, if I'm not mistaken, had control over the train systems in the United States in the 1900s and late 1800s, if I'm not mistaken, he had his hands in that. You see, Andrew Carnegie did not know everything about trains. Obviously, he had an understanding of it because he worked with trains, so he had to have some type of knowledge, but he was not the most knowledgeable man in that field of work. But where he excelled was his ability to recruit and develop relationships with other humans. Let that sink in for a second. The most successful people are not always the smartest people. Why is that? You know what I mean? Look at some of the richest people in the world. The top 53 richest people in the world started off as salesmen or salespeople. What does that say? They had an understanding of how to communicate with other humans. They have mastered the skill of interaction. They didn't master the skill of selling something. If you can talk to people and you can develop a relationship with them, you can sell anything. You could sell glasses to a blind man if you gave him a good enough story to the point that he believed he actually needed them and you had a relationship with him. So, Mr. Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie, was able to pull in and surround himself with people that had a knowledge base of the train systems. He was able to pull in people that were smarter than him, and he surrounded himself with them, and all he had to do was go out and make friends, as many friends as possible in the train system, and that's how he overtook it. That's how he monopolized it. It wasn't that he studied the train systems and the engines and yada, yada, yada. And because people realized that they didn't have enough knowledge of the train system, they're like, you know what, Mr. Andrew Carnegie, I want you to have I want you to have all the train systems because you know more than me. So please have them. No, that's not what happened. That's not how it works. He understood how humans worked. He understood how to make friends of them. He understood how to influence them and pull them onto his side and pull them, or he convinced them to back him. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe he was a fake man. I don't think he was going around saying stuff like, I'm this, that, and the other, and not backing that up. No, he definitely backed it up. There was a sense of honesty and truth in what it is that he said. You know what I mean? So, what does that mean when it comes to networking and marketing? How does this all come together? What is it that I'm trying to say? I'm trying to tell you, okay, that if you're going to market, if you're going to sell a product, if you're going to make friends, right? And not just any type of friends, just like powerful friends. People that know what they're talking about. If you're going to be able to surround yourself with these people, you're going to have to develop the skills of telling a story. Okay? You're going to have to be able to give them something of value. Sometimes that is physically, you give them, I don't know, a cookie. Or emotionally, sometimes you give them an uplift. You say, listen, man, you are a genius. One of the smartest people that I know. They'll make them feel good about themselves, right? Or spiritually, you just come over there and you give them a hug and you're just like, listen, I don't know what it is that you're going through, but you're gonna make it. And you lift up their spirits. All right, so you have to be able to do those things. Listen, people are selfish. If you can learn and master the skill of being selfless, if you are able to master that skill and use that to your advantage and have a genuine, sincere, care for other people, you will literally be able to sell and build whatever it is that you want. Now, I know I'm talking about this on the podcast and this sounds like really disgusting. It probably sounds really gross. You're probably like, oh my gosh. Like that sounds horrible. Like it sounds like you don't care that you're doing this for yourself. Right? And that's why I said you have to have this sincere, genuine care for people. If you're unable to have a genuine care, if you are unable to tune in and focus on what it is that they're talking about, what it is that they care about, what it is that's troubling them, if you don't care about that, they will see that. Okay, so becoming selfless for other people so that one day you will get something in return, it's not easy because you actually genuinely have to care about people. Does that make sense? It may not make sense. And I'm working on how I could better explain that, but it goes back to the saying, you reap what you sow. The seeds that you plant in people, if they are nurtured and cared for, will eventually return and produce for you. So whenever you're on social media and you're trying to network and reach out and contact people, you shouldn't be going out there and like telling people, look, this is what I have and I think you should follow it just because I have this. Like I don't go out onto my social media and I'm not like, listen guys, I'm building 1440. This is what I want to do. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, check 5. This is exactly what I want to do. You should follow it just to watch it grow. No. That's not how it works. See, from my personal experience, the best way to grow is to give. The absolute best way to grow is to give. Bring value to other people. And that's why I have this podcast. Is because I'm giving you for free, right? For free, you are getting information and real experience. You're getting my experience. Day in and day out, I sit in this chair, I talk to this microphone, and I tell you what it is that I'm experiencing, right? On my Instagram, I've grown over 100 new followers in the past 5 days. Why? How? It's because I post consistently. I post about things that help people, and I add the hashtags and I @at people. It's real simple. I also leave like a short tidbit of how I feel about that post. It's real simple. It's not even hard, actually. It's pretty easy. It's tedious, yes, but easy. And the thing is, a lot of you guys, number one, expect that it's just going to come. And then number two, you're not willing to give. You're so damn selfish. You want, and you never give. And unfortunately, guys, you can't get without giving. McDonald's doesn't make money without giving us food. Right? Nike doesn't make money without giving us shoes. Or vice versa. You don't get Nike shoes without giving them money. You have to give before you can get. It's all about perspective. It is all about perspective. The second that you change your perspective, the second that you change the angle, the second that you change your view is the second that you grow. It's the second that you begin to grow. And the problem is like you guys don't see that. You guys see the phase reigns and the heck, I don't know, Casey Neistats, right? Like you see all these people that are out there doing the things that you want to do, but you're not looking at, or you're not even trying to understand what's going on in the background, right? Like just take for a second, how much work do you put into making your videos? And look how they turn out. And then look at your favorite YouTube or Twitch stars or just TV stars or movie stars. Look, like envision them, right? And just try and imagine the type of work that they are putting in. Right? And I know like right now you're like looking in your head and you're like, damn, I put 4 hours into this video and it looks like this. Those guys, they're probably putting in like 8 or 10 hours. 8 or 10 hour days, guys. 6 of those hours they're sitting at a computer. Editing. Using different editing techniques, using different marketing techniques. And then you sit here and you're like boo-hoo me, and you start crying about yourself. And it comes down to, guys, like you're not doing the thing that you need to do, and 2, you're not giving enough. You need to give before you can get. That's how you grow. That's how you network. That's how you market. That's how you grow your social medias. I follow people because the information that they provide I find valuable, or the things that they say that they're doing throughout their day, I find valuable. If I don't find value in the things that they tweet or post on Instagram or Snap about, I'm not following you. I'm not paying attention to it. Does that make sense to you guys? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You need to bring value to others, and you need to work harder. And I think last, guys, is like, get rid of the excuses and put yourself in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to sit here and cry about, listen, I don't have this, I don't have that. Because of my internet, I can't do this. It takes this long for it to upload. Because my parents don't have this much money, I can't do this. Or whatever, guys. Like, I'm telling you, you can go out onto the internet and find people that have it way worse than you, and you know this. You absolutely know this. You can find people that have it way worse than you, but are way more successful than you. Why? Because they got rid of the excuses, and they put themselves in other people's shoes. They understood that, listen, this is what I'm going through right now, but what are they going through emotionally? What are they going through physically, mentally, spiritually? What are they going through relationship-wise? You know what I'm saying? Cut away the excuses. Listen, life is like a tree, right? So you plant the seed. Number one, you plant the seed. All right. So you give that seed an area in which it can thrive. You search out areas, you look over to the right, now there's weeds over there, not going to get enough water or nutrients. Oh, there's a huge patch of grass, that's not going to work. I can't put it underneath the bush, it's not going to get enough sunlight, right? Like you search out these areas, you find the perfect area. There's a dirt patch there. There's not too much grass here, there's perfect sunlight, it'll get plenty of water. All right, that's great, you plant the seed. Number 2, you water it and you give it vitamins and minerals. You enrich that soil, right? And you water it consistently each and every day for a certain period of time, right? You do that every day for like 2 months and all of a sudden you have like a little sprout come through. You see life. And so now you put up a little fence around it because you don't want your dog walking all over it. You don't. Your dog's going to crush that poor little tree. It's not strong enough yet. So you put a little fence around it to protect it from the wind, from your dogs, from whoever's playing, right? It's getting plenty of sunlight. It's getting water. It now has protection. You keep cultivating it. In a year, all of a sudden, it's shot up 6 feet. In a year and 2 months, it's now 7, 8, 9, 10 feet tall. It's starting to grow bark on it. It's strong enough to handle the winds. It's strong enough and big enough that if something hits it, it's not going to fall over. It's not going to tear down. Right? That's what life is like. That's how you should view your social media. That's how you should view your business. That's how you should view your relationships with others. You have to protect it. You have to feed it. You have to cultivate it. You have to nurture it. Right? We all understand this. We all know this. The process has always been simple. But it's never easy. You're going to come into struggles. There's going to be a storm that comes in and almost destroys that poor little plant in its infancy. Right? But you're there to protect it and lift it up when it needs to be lifted up. Treat your life that way, guys, and the possibilities are endless. Treat your business like that, the possibilities are endless. Treat your social media like that, possibilities are endless. But the thing is you got to wake up and decide that that's what you want to do. You got to decide that that's what you're going to do. More than going. It's a need. You have to have this. You have to do it. For me, this podcast, I have to get it big. I have to get it bigger. I have a story here. I have to share this with people. I'm getting a certificate in December because I have to share this story with people. I have been blessed with the ability to speak and to influence and to raise people's spirits. I've also been blessed with the ability to listen. If you have a concern or something that's going on in your life, I will sit there and listen. I need to share that with the world. And so I get up each and every day and I know my why. I know my values. And I follow that each and every day. And I stick to it each and every day. And you don't do that. Don't get me wrong, I believe in you. You have so much more to give and to offer. And yet you don't. Why? Why? Because you're afraid of what other people are going to do. You don't like to work that hard. The excuses are endless. You didn't realize how hard it was going to be and how long it was going to take. I get that. I understand. And that's what this podcast is for, is to help wake you up. To help wake you up. Guys, I just want to leave you with this. You were put on this earth, whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in destiny or not, whether you believe in a higher power or not, whether you believe in a fart in the middle of space created us or not, whether you believe in evolution or not, guys, listen, you were put on this planet by whatever for a purpose. All you have to do is go find that purpose. And once you uncover that purpose, you hold on to it for dear life and you don't let go. And you run with it as hard and as fast as you can. And you build around that purpose. And you don't let shit get in between you and what it is you're supposed to do while you're on this planet. Because our time is limited. I love you guys. I love you guys. You have so much in store. You just got to go out there and show the world. Cut the fucking mic.